Call this meeting to order. Tonight, we're going to be led in the pledge by Miss Angel McLeod.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. McLeod. I'd like to welcome everybody to this, our first meeting of the month, the new month. And I guess everybody's had time to look over the agenda. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything before we move on with Mr. Odom? All right, Mr. Odom, let's go to number 9, or
That's a zone exemption.
We're gonna do
which
that.
you have a packet on.
correct.
Okay.
I guess everybody's got the packet. Mr. Evans, I think, probably gave it to us. So if you could, between now and Thursday, review that. And we'll have to take action on that Thursday evening. Number 10, Mr. Odom.
Mr. Clardy is prepared tonight, if y'all would like for him to do this tonight. Can do that for Thursday night.
That'll be good, Mr. Carter.
We're making quite a bit of progress on the projects this year, including our capital improvements, and then closing out Church Creek High School from the various projects. So I want to present those to you at this time. Blackman High School re-roof is one of our big capital projects this year, and we have that stopped, and we're ready to start that towards the end of the week. Some of the narratives on these are a little bit behind because I did them last week, and we've got a whole week to get a lot done, so good weather.
Mr. Carter, before you get off Blackman re-roof, how long do you anticipate that taking?
It'll run probably 2.5 months.
Do you get out of it before the bad weather sets in?
And we have had a site meeting out there already with all the people that are involved and to coordinate the testing dates and that kind of thing, so we're not interfering with that. Oakland High School parking, we're supposed to start that during fall break, and we're putting down 4 inches of stone over there to extend that student parking lot. And then we're also, because of the extent of the project, instead of paving, we're going to put tar and chip down on it right now so that we can stretch and get more parking spaces. Smyrna and Laverne High School ADA bleachers, we will be wrapping those projects up by this Thursday. And I have some pictures of those I want to show you. This is Smyrna when they first started the construction of those bleachers on the visitor side. You see the stuff laid out. A little farther away, shot of it. That's one when they were just beginning on it. We got the platform built now. They have the part of the ramp up there. That's the back shot of it. This is part of the handicap ramp. Another shot of that. And that's the completed project of the handicap ramp on the home side. And you can see up there, there's a few little benches, 3 little benches up there. So between those little seats, there's a place to back a wheelchair in there. There's 2 places.
On the visitor side, how many seats did that add?
I think it's about 80, so it helped considerably. That's the visitor side. There's all the seats that's involved. and they're all on the same plane as the other, the existing seats. There's a finished ramp. And this is Laverne's. They opted for the blue school color. And so you can see how close those are to being completed. I skipped or jumped over the Oakland High School and Riverdale High School upper level gymnasium seating. We have bid that, and we came in within budget, and we have those ordered. So it's supposed to take anywhere from 60 to 90 days to get those manufactured and get them on there, get them to the job. So we should be ready to go on those within 3 months, have them manufactured and ready to go in. We've been waiting a few years to get those done, so we're finally getting to the point of having them on site so we can set them. Blackman Middle School addition. We have our silt fence in. We're waiting on a couple odds and ends for that we got to respond to the city on for our grading permit. We should have that by and start grading on Friday. And then our building permit we have the comment from the city. Each consultant is working on that. Their comments at this time to get those completed so we can get a building permit for that. So we're getting ready to go. We have quite a bit of site work and footings to put in. And we'll have a building permit in plenty of time for that. Stewart's Creek High School, we are just wrapping up odds and ends up there and finishing up the paperwork and final pricing so we can get that job ready to close out. We've had trainings on building automation systems, electrical, fire alarm, plumbing, HVAC, track lighting, sound system, stadium lighting, scoreboard, irrigation for the athletic field, the PA system, gym bleachers, goals, scoreboard, sound system, and a bunch of other smaller items. So there's a lot to train people on. We're just about to complete that. We're doing a few things, odds and ends around on site, and then we'll have the builder coming back in to do some site touch-up here soon. And I think that's all I've got. I'd be glad to take any questions at this time.
Weren't they building dugouts down there or something?
At
Stewart's Creek or?
they haven't started those yet, but they're extending those out, and then that's in the baseball field. They're putting up some safety nets in front of those dugouts, and they also have plans on doing the ladies softball later in the year or first of next year.
Mr. Holday?
Landscape at Stewart's Creek High School, there was a provision that when the season was right, that there would be some final landscaping.
Yes, that site, I don't know the exact day, but they'll be coming in there within the next couple of weeks to get that done.
Anybody else? As always, Mr. Carter, appreciate the job you and your staff do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Number 11.
Number 11 is 2013 ED 2152, certification of compliance with Tennessee Code annotated section 49.3.310.4A. The superintendent and the chairman of the board of each local education agency shall certify to the commissioner on or before October 15th of the current school year that all children enrolled in the LEA have been furnished all required textbooks as determined by the commissioner. And the motion will be recommend approval. Motion for approval of the 2013 ED 2152 certification of compliance report showing all children enrolled in the LEA have been furnished all required textbooks. Did you get a chance to talk to Debbie?
I tried to get a hold of Debbie right out today and was not able to make sure there was nothing that was back ordered, but all of these books have been ordered, and it's, to the best of my knowledge, they all have.
We'll know by Thursday if it's anything
Yes, sir.
different, we'll be able to say, but I think we're okay.
Any questions? Number 12.
Blackman High School press boxes. Principal Gail Vick has requested permission to construct press boxes at Blackman High School baseball field and softball field. The construction will take place over this school year as funds are available through the baseball and softball booster club fundraisers at no cost to the board. The press boxes will be constructed over the third base line dugouts on both fields. Rutherford County Schools engineering and construction staff has probed both footings and determined that they are adequate to support two-story structures. Angel McLeod, staff attorney, has reviewed this request, and there's no gender equity issue. We recommend approval. Motion to approve construction of press boxes to Blackman High School baseball and softball fields at no cost to the Rutherford County School Board.
Blair?
I was thinking about a press box down the baseline with foul balls and stuff like that. So I guess there's going to be some kind of screening or netting or something like that. Okay.
There's some pretty nice view and outside elevation that they provided in the tabs that are they're very nice.
Anybody else? Number 13.
13 is the Director of Schools Evaluation Instrument. You have a recommended approval motion to approve the 2013-14 evaluation instrument for the Director of Schools as presented and follow the same timeline as submitted by TSBA and adopted on May 16, 2012.
I think Ms. Michaels gave everybody a copy of that. I think you probably got one emailed yesterday or the day before, correct? It's pretty well about the same as what we had before.
Correct.
And if everybody's in agreement, we'll get a motion on that Thursday night and basically get it approved by the board. If everybody's good with that. Unless somebody has some questions, we need any information on. All right, number 14.
14 is the Policy Advisory Committee, and this is for information only. Mr. Hodge, I think, has completed nominations for the Policy Committee. Per Policy 1.602, the following members have been appointed to serve on the Policy Advisory Committee. All school board members. Dana Nichols, Educational Support Personnel. She works in Human Resources. Fred Barlow, Principal, Rockville Middle School. Sean Lee, Classroom Teacher. Emily Mitchell, Classroom Teacher. Amy Wise, Supervisor here, of course, in Title I. Goldie Wade, Citizen at Large. Vicki Fan, Citizen at Large. Don Odom, Director of Schools. Angel McLeod, Director's Designee, and Jeff Reed, Board Attorney.
Ms. McLeod, she's still here? You're gonna try to schedule something first of November, aren't you?
Right, Ms. Simons and I talked about that today.
Okay, good. So everybody just keep that in mind. Somewhere around the first, second week in November, we'll start, try to get that in for the first quarter and, go over anything we're going to address. 15, general discussion. Anybody? I think Thursday night Mr. Tackett will be back, so he may have something to discuss. I don't know, but he may want to discuss football game.
Is this the South?
Mr. Odom, you want to make any comments on anything?
No, that's much, we mentioned again Thursday night too, we're beginning to look at possible changes in the zone line for Oakland Middle School and Whitworth, Buchanan, and that related areas. So he was showing me some rough maps today in some areas, but we'll have to review that some more before we bring it forward to look at. y'all have any other suggestions, or if you'd like to look at them ahead of time or other thoughts about it, we'll try to put it together very quickly.
How about your totals? You wanna go over any of this?
This was the end of the first month's total, 41,050. Of course, this doesn't include your 10 preschools or any of the other classrooms where special ed has the classrooms, you know, that are 4-year-olds and that sort of thing, 4 and 5. So this is your numbers, really, your K through 12, basically numbers. So that's it's a pretty good number of students, and you can kind of, by school, and you can actually look at the grade and see which grades we have. And you can tell if you look between, if you look at the 5 at the top, 5th grade and 6th grade, you see the difference there in those numbers. And that's, of course, when the city system starts, we get about that many, almost 500 more 6th graders, and then when the city ends at 6th grade, you're seeing another 600 or so that come to us. You know, so that's kind of where you see that jump.
Talking about this 4150, how many other students is it?
Well, all of those pre-Ks that are 20, they're about 20 per class, 10 of those, so that would be 200. Then special ed, their numbers.
27 different preschool, special ed or regular ed, preschool classes, looking at probably close to 400, 460.
On top of this number here then? So,
It's not in this,
The exact number for Thursday.
no,
it's not in the funding formula for the regular grade. Of course, the special ed classes are smaller, much smaller numbers for those, so.
Anybody got any comments, questions in regards to this data here? Anybody else? Mr. Holiday?
Good meeting.
You good?
Good.
All right. We're adjourned.